So good morning all. Now we are starting with the unit number 2. The name of the unit is database models. So whatever we have understood the basic concepts that we are going to use in this unit to design the database models. Before that, we need to understand some basic concepts that we are going to learn in today's lecture. So first I will introduce this unit and basic concepts. Then I am going to explain the AR model. We have seen in the last lecture, in last unit, AR model. In detail, we are going to see in this unit. Then we will see what is meant by entity. Then we will see what is meant by entity set. And then we are going to see what is attribute. And there are different types of attributes that we are also going to see in today's lecture. So first, introduction. Now we consider how to design the database schema. In this unit, we focus on the entity relationship model, that is AR model. This AR model provides a means of identifying entities to be represented in the database and how these entities are related. So this AR model provides us to identify the entities to be represented in the database system and how these entities are related with each other. It's very interesting to identify the different entities to be represented in database, and it's also interesting to see the relationship between these entities that we are going to see in today's lecture. The entity relationship data model was developed to facilitate database design by allowing specification of enterprise schema that represent the overall logical structure of the database. So this AR data model is overall logical structure of the database that help us to design a schema of an particular enterprise. This AR model stands for relationship. It is a high-level data model. This model is used to define the data elements and relationship for specific system. It develops a conceptual design for the database. It also develops and design easy design to view of the data. So AR model. The AR model is very useful in mapping the meaning and interactions of real-world enterprises onto a conceptual schema. Because of this usefulness, many database design tools draw a concept from the AR model. So this AR model is very helpful for us to identify the real-world entities and identify that real-world entities, a relationship between that real-world entities, and it will form a conceptual schema that will help to encode that into a database, and we can store that data into the database schema. Before storing the data into a database, we need to have a model which describes the conceptual schema of the database. So AR model will help us to design a conceptual schema. So AR data model employs three basic concepts. To design this AR data model, you need to familiar with these basic concepts. First one is entity sets. Next one is the relationship sets. And next one is attributes. So you must be familiar with this. What is meant by entity set? What is meant by relationship sets? And what is meant by attribute? So before that, we are starting with the entity, and then we will see entity sets and attributes in the ER data model. The ER model also has a diagrammatic representation. Everything in ER model is represented in diagram. We will see different notations for it, how to draw the diagrams in the next lecture, which these diagrams can explain the overall logical structure of the database graphically. So by looking at these ER diagrams, you can understand what is the database, what are the entities in the database, what are the relationship between the entities. You can get the overall idea of that particular database by looking at the ER diagrams. So first is entity. What is meant by entity? So an entity is an object that exists and is distinguishable from other objects. What is meant by entity? Entity is an object. It is a real object, and that must be distinguishable from other objects. For example, a specific person. For example, Sachin. Sachin is a specific person, and he is distinguishable from other persons. Another example, a company, any company. For example, Reliance is a company. It is an object and it is distinguishable from the other object. This Reliance company is distinguishable from other companies. Next example is event. You can take any event that is distinguishable from other objects. Another example is plant. This plant is an entity and it is distinguishable from other objects. So these are some of the examples of the entity. There are many more entities present in the real world that we have to identify. So how to identify the entities? Keep in mind, it must be an object or real-time thing, and it is distinguishable from the other objects. That you can say it is an entity. So as I said, each person in a university is an entity because each person is distinguishable from other person. So that entity has a set of properties, and the values for some set of properties may uniquely identify an entity. Particular entity has its own properties. That properties help us to identify that entity uniquely. For instance, a person may have a person ID property whose value uniquely identifies that person. Or take another example, student is an entity, where roll number is property of that student. And by looking at the roll number, anyone can uniquely identify that particular student. So this is the entity and property of the entities. Next is what is entity sets. Entity set is a set of entities of the same type that share the same properties. Again, I am repeating what is meant by entity. Entity is a set of entities of the same type that share the same properties. Take one example, set of all persons. Person is an entity and having the same properties, and set of person, it is called as entity set. It is called as entity set. Next example, companies. Okay, there are list of companies and each company is an entity, and list of companies is nothing but the entity set because they share the same properties. Next example is trees. Tree is an entity, whereas set of trees, there are n number of trees. You can name different name to the trees, and that set of trees is called as entity set. Next example is holidays. In holidays, you will find set different holidays, and set of that holidays is called as entity set. The set of all people who are instructor at given university. Okay, it can be defined as an entity set instructor. So a set of people who are instructor at the university. Okay, it can be defined as an entity set instructor. It can be defined entity set given the name as a instructor. Similarly, the entity set student, okay, might represent the set of all students. It will represent set of all students in the university. Okay, you can name it entity set student. Entity set student. So entity is represented by a set of attributes. Entity is represented by a set of attributes that is called as descriptive properties possessed by all the members of an entity set. Every entity has a properties. That properties is called as attributes, and technically it is called as descriptive properties. For example, this instructor could have properties like ID. Instructor will have name, street, city, and set. These are called as set of attributes. That is, these are descriptive properties of entity instructor. Similarly, we will have course as the entity, and course ID, title, and credits are the properties of the course. So these are called as attributes of the course. So these are the examples of entity and its attributes. That is the descriptive properties. So here this is the example of entity set instructor and student. So this is the entity, first entity, whose instructor ID is 76766 and instructor name is Craig. This is our second entity. Instructor ID is 45565 and next one instructor name is Cat. So similarly, this is the second entity, next entity, this is our next, and this is the next. So this is the set. This is the set. And it is these all are entities. That's why it is called as entity set. It is called as entity set. Next example is student. This is the student ID 98988. Student name is Tanaka. Next is student ID is 12345. Student name is Shankar, and so on. This is the next entity. This is the next. This is our next entity. This is next, and this is the next. And all these are present in the table student. And this is called as, this is the set of, this is the set. It is of type, it is of entity set. That's why it is called as entity set. And this is the example of entity sets. This is called as entity sets. Now, by looking at this diagram, we will understand what is meant by entity and what is meant by entity set. So next is attributes. An entity is represented by a set of attributes. Keep in mind, each entity has its own properties. This is called as descriptive properties, and that property is called as attributes. Attributes are descriptive properties possessed by each member of an entity set. Possible attributes of instructor entity set are ID, name, department name, and salary. So these are the property of instructor, and each entity will have ID, name, department name, and salary. So in real life, there would be further attributes such as street number, apartment number, state, postal code, postal code, and country, etc. So we can mention as number of properties as you can. Next example is course. Possible attributes of the course entity set are course ID, title, department name, and credits. These are the attributes of the course entity set. So again, the attribute is used to describe the property of entity. What is the use of attribute? It is used to describe the property of an entity. For example, ID, age, contact number, name can be attributes of the student. ID, age, contact number, name can be attributes of the student entity. Now, I will give you 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, you have to find out one entity and its attribute. So what? So simple attributes are those attributes which cannot be divided further. That's why this is called as atomic values. That values you cannot divide it into subpart. For example, student's phone number is an atomic value of 10 digits. You cannot subdivide the student phone number into subparts. It is an atomic value. So student, okay. In entity relationship, the student entity is represented by the square brackets. So that is the square or a simple rectangle. So student is an entity. By looking at this diagram, you should understand it is an entity because it is written inside this rectangle. So this the roll number is an entity. Okay, it is attached. Roll number is an attribute. It is attached to the this entity student. Okay, so roll number is an attribute of entity student, and it is an atomic. It is a simple attribute. You cannot further divide it into subparts. Next is class. Okay, student class, to which class he studied, whether it is second year, third year, or final year. It is again a simple attribute. Next is age of the student. It is again a simple attribute. You cannot subdivide age into subparts. That's why it is called as simple attributes. And simple attributes are atomic values. Understand this atomic values technical term. You cannot divide this into subparts. It is called as atomic values. So this student will have these attributes: roll number, class, age. All these attributes are simple attributes. You can have many attributes of the student. For understanding purpose, I have kept only the simple attribute for the student entity. That is roll number, class, and age. Next is composite attribute. What are the composite attributes? Composite attributes are those attributes which are composed of many other simple attributes. Okay, that is, as the name suggests, it is the composed of other simple attributes. composite attributes are made of more than one simple attribute. So these composite attributes are made more than one simple attribute. For example, student's name will have first name and last name. So student name is composed of first name and last name. We'll see what is this composite attribute with example. So this is our student entity, and now we are going to see which are the different composite attributes into a student entity. So whether roll number is a composite attribute? No, because it is a simple attribute and you cannot further subdivide into further parts. Next is name. Whether you can divide this name into subparts? Yes, you can divide this name into a subparts. First is first name and next is last name. So this name is called as composite attribute. You can divide this name into subparts, that is first name and last name. Similarly, whether this address is a composite attribute? Yes, we can divide this address into a subparts, that is street, city and country, state. So address is a composite attribute. It is composed of street, city, country and state. That's why it is called as composite attribute. You can divide this attribute into subparts. That's why it is called as composite attribute. Again, I'm repeating. You can decompose this name into first name and last name. That's why it is called as composite attribute. Again, you can divide this address into subparts: street, city, country and state. That's why it is called as composite attribute. Next is single valued attribute. Single valued attribute. So in single valued attribute are those attributes which can take only one value for a given entity from an entity set. It can have only one value for that particular entity. Single valued attribute contains single value. As the name given to this attribute will contain only a single value. For example, social security number. This social security number will have only one value, one single value. We will see this with the help of example. Take the same example. Student will have roll number. It will consist only one value, single value. Student will have date of birth. This will consist only a single value. And again, student will have age, which consists only a single value. So all these are called as single valued attributes of entity student. And entity and attributes are represented like this. Entity is represented by using the rectangle, and this entity is represented by ellipse, and they are attached to the entity by this arrow. Next,
hello, sir.
Multi-value. Yes.
Hello. Yes, sir. My doubt is that what is the difference between simple and single value attributes? Because they both seem very similar.
Yes, they are similar, but we will clear this doubt at the end. Okay, you will get understood what is the difference.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Next is multi-valued attributes. Multi-valued attributes are those attributes which can take more than one value for a given entity from an entity set. Multi-valued attributes may contain more than one values. For example, a person can have more than one phone number, one email address, etc. More than one email address and more than one phone number. That is the example of multi-valued attributes. Take one example. Here it is student. In the student, roll number is an attribute, date of birth, age, and this is the mobile number. A particular student can have two mobile numbers. So this mobile number is called as multi-valued attribute. Or one particular student will have 2-3 email IDs. So this is the multi-valued attribute. And this multi-valued attribute is represented by using this double ellipse. Okay, this notation indicates it is an multi-valued attribute. While drawing the AR diagrams, you should draw double ellipse for the multi-valued attribute. Next is derived attribute. Derived attributes are those attributes which can be derived from other attributes. So, for example, date of birth. Can you calculate date of? Here it is date of birth. No? It's not date of birth. It's a date of birth. You can calculate by using the age. You can calculate by using a date of birth. So age is called as derived attribute. You can derive age attribute by using the date of birth. So derived attributes are the attributes that do not exist in the physical database, but their values are derived from other attributes present in the database. For example, average salary in a department should be saved directly in the database. Instead, it can be derived. So take one example here, student, roll number, date of birth, and this is your age. You can calculate age by looking at this date of birth. So age is called as derived attribute. Age is called as derived attribute. So I'm going to stop